here in Franklin, Pennsylvania, and we have another cool machine here for you today. This is the Link Model AX Orchestrion from 1926. This machine, as you can see, does not have a facade on it, so you can see all of the instruments playing on this machine anytime you come for a tour through the museum. What is usually particularly striking about this piece, and the element that most everybody notices right away, is the roll drive up top here. This Link has an endless roll drive system. It plays off of this 350-foot loop of paper, which if you stretch it out end to end, that would be about a football field. Gives you an idea for how much music is on this machine. It's about 15 songs or about an hour's worth of music, and it is gravity fed, so as the tracker bar here spits it out, it curls up, and as it gets heavier, slides down to the end where it gets grabbed and taken back up to the tracker bar to play again. So these endless roll drive systems were very popular on Link machines. The Link next door here also has one, as well as the one downstairs. They use this roll drive system even beyond when many other companies have replaced this system with the rewind system. But a little bit of details about this piece in particular. It was, we believe, either one of the last, if not the last machine produced by Link after they had closed factory doors in the mid-20s. This machine in particular was owned by Ray Deo, who was a music roll arranger for the Link company, and he acquired this machine after they closed. Jake Bentz bought it from him at some point in time, we're not entirely sure when, but we do know that they had to bust a hole in the cellar wall in order to get this machine out of the basement. Ray Deo, as I said, was a music roll arranger for the company. After Link closed, he acquired the rights for the roll cutting and opened up his own company called Ray Deo Music. And he continued to produce rolls for a little while at least, but when the market crashed for these rolls, he, as interviewed in 1956, he claimed that he junked all of the roll cutting equipment and burned the remaining 4,000 rolls in his fireplace. So unfortunately, we don't have that remaining contextual information on these machines. The funding for the purchase of this machine in 1993-1994, when the museum was opening, was provided by Northwest Savings Bank, and that's the reason that we still have it today.
The Link Company started life as the Automatic Musical Company of Binghamton, New York, which was founded about 1900 by the Harris brothers. They did a lot of experimental work and produced some interesting machines, but by 1910 they were on the verge of bankruptcy. Their major creditor was the Schaff Piano Company, headed by George T. Link. Schaff had been the source of the pianos they had been modifying. George convinced the other creditors to allow his son Edwin to go to Binghamton and try to return the company to solvency. Production started again in 1913 with an emphasis on theater organs. By 1916, Edwin was able to buy a controlling interest in the company and change the name to the Link Piano Company. The smaller automatic piano style was a secondary product at first. Most of these machines were owned by route operators rather than the owners of the businesses they were located in. The design was particularly easy to service as the pneumatics were individually replaceable with 2 screws rather than being glued in place. The machines all use an endless loop of paper design, which had been a popular design from the 1890s through 1905, when it was replaced by the rewind roll style by other manufacturers except Link. Link claimed production ran at a rate of 1 per day for about 15 years, for a total in the range of 4,000 machines. The factory ended up closing in 1929, and all remaining inventory was sold at bargain prices. Edwin Link moved to California, where he tended a route of his machines into the mid-1930s. Edwin's son Edward was very interested in flying, and while working in the factory, began work on a flight simulator/pilot trainer. This was a revolutionary machine, as previously potential new pilots needed to learn by physically flying real planes, and this allowed for a safer training simulation. Edward was granted a patent on it in 1929. They were produced with controls and actuators which were borrowed from the automatic music machines he had been working on, and many of the early models were sold to amusement parks for kiddie rides. The government became a big buyer in preparation for World War II, and eventually the company was bought out by Hughes Aircraft.
Thank you for joining us, and we hope you visit the museum sometime.